I got carried away and bought another crash damaged Audi, but this one is a bit strange one because it has a chassis of an Audi Q7. It has an engine of an Audi S4, and overall it seems just a little bit more posh. Porsche? Porsche? I think everybody could tell right away that it's not an Audi, and yeah, I wanted something new, something different, because I was getting a little bit too familiar with the whole Audi ecosystem, so I wanted to try something a bit more complicated. So let me introduce you our next build, and obviously it has a frontal crash damage. From what I've seen in the pictures, it didn't seem that bad. Of course, it is that bad because the front left chassis leg is pushed straight into the back for about a 10 to 15 centimeters, I would say. So yeah, turns out you cannot buy a crash damaged car that is just slightly damaged. Anyways, wanted to make a quick overview of what's in front of us. This is an Audi, I just want to say an Audi. This is a Porsche Cayenne S E-Hybrid 2016, which is exactly the model, the year, the powertrain that I always wanted to have. And I wanted a hybrid because I wanted something different from what I have driven so far. It's good with fuel consumption. It's fast enough, hopefully. It has 416 horsepower combined electric and petrol, since it has a engine that is supercharged, which is something else I always wanted because of a supercharger whine, which I most definitely am going to try to exaggerate in this build, because I just love how it sounds when you push the throttle. This is a very well-known Audi engine from Audi A8, Audi A5 or S5, and Audi S4. It's a 3-liter supercharged petrol engine combined with a, of course, electric one. So let me just show you around. You've seen the front, you've seen the frontal damage. I think we can salvage this fender or wing. We'll need a new hood. This headlight came intact. The other one came tacked because it had a gaping hole in it. So we'll need a driver's side headlight. We'll need, obviously, bumper, this wing as well, and windshield on the front, as well as 1,000 small pipes, lines, cables, and plastic bits and pieces, which are going to total to a ridiculous amount of money, I can already tell. But there is one really good thing about this, since this is a shared chassis between Volkswagen company as a whole, so Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsche, or Porsche. There are plenty of parts that you can find on, I think, Q7, but more of a Volkswagen Touareg, same year generation. So most of the parts are comparable, which is hopefully going to save us a lot of money trying to rebuild this thing. Let me show you around so you can have a better picture of how the car looks like. Don't get distracted by the yellow Audi TT in the back. If you're new to a whole me thing, there is a series of videos on rebuilding that yellow thing over there, but this video is about this guy over here. And as you can probably tell, this is where the main damage happened, right over here. Like I said, it doesn't look too bad, since there are plenty of plastic pieces that are still there, and that was an indication for me that the impact wasn't so bad. Turns out it was so bad, but what can you do now? Okay, so there's plenty of those aluminum hoses. Since this is a hybrid, it has two separate cooling systems, which I didn't know. One is for the engine, of course, and everything else, and the other one is just for the inverter, the battery, the charger, and electric motor, I think. So all things electric, I think. The hood is obviously bent. The whole radiator pack came a bit towards the engine, but as far as what I've saw so far, there isn't. Oh, I'm so afraid to say this. There aren't many parts on the engine that are pushed onto, damaged, nicked, or whatever. So hopefully the engine runs. The car shuts off immediately after the impact, so I cannot start the engine as it is, because hybrids are a bit confusing. They start in electric mode only, and electric mode, of course, shuts down completely in the crash, so there's no electrical issues or whatever. There's no danger of electrocuting, even though there's plenty of stickers all over the car saying danger, danger, electric. So I am going to be extra careful working on this car. Ideally, I would like to disconnect the battery completely, the high voltage battery in the back, so I can work safely on the front of the vehicle without danger of electrocuting myself. We'll see. I still, like I said, it's all a bit new to me, even though this is a Volkswagen Group product. I'll need to get acknowledged with some stuff, especially hybrid stuff, since I've never worked on a hybrid car before. Let's go interior. Inside of this beautiful Cayenne, we have a black leather interior. In ideal case, I wanted either beige or some lighter colors, but I think this is going to be the best color for me, since I do a lot of stuff and put a lot of things in the car. This is going to be a better choice for me, and this is how the car came. Obviously, airbag for the steering wheel is blown, as well as the passenger. And the problem is, this is a all leather dashboard, which is great for the looks, but it's going to be either really expensive to replace or expensive to repair. But I would love to keep it as it is. I have an option of going with a normal, how do you call it, like plastic dashboard instead of the leather one. We'll see if I can fix this one. That would be great. Other than that, the car has a big panoramic roof, which is something I really wanted to have, and it has a air suspension from Porsche. So another thing that I wanted, because I wanted a really comfortable ride, which is something you don't get in Audi TT. I have probably failed to mention that the car was filthy when I got it, and it still is, because I was really tempted, but I've managed to not touch it until we start filming, because I wanted to take you along the way from the very beginning of this rebuild. So I left the car really as it is, as I got it. Yeah, it's really spacious in the back, with the panoramic roof making it even more roomy. But like I said, it's a dumpster in here, which on the other hand is going to make a great video on cleaning, but I hope we will come to that fairly soon. This is something that bugs me the most, and yeah, this fender or wing bent slightly somehow and bent the doors, so I need to get a new door, which is going to be expensive. I can tell right away, but the most important thing, listen to this. This is as far as we go, then. Ow! That hurts my ears and my soul. And in my opinion, From the back, the car looks really mighty with a quad exhaust pipes, and this is a facelifted version of the 958 Porsche Cayenne. So yeah, it has these new LED lights and everything, but other than a couple of the small bits and pieces down there which are just clipped into, this door over here is slightly dinged, and I think this is due to the car being lifted on the trailer with a forklift. So the plan with this car now is, well, I actually don't have a solid plan as of now, but what I would love to do is get the car on some sort of jack stands, which is what we did with an Audi, and then strip everything that's damaged. I think we are going to have to pull the engine with the transmission out of the car, so we can send the car to the body shop so they can replace the chassis leg that was damaged. I also bought a quarter of another Cayenne, so we can replace the whole chassis leg with that one without worrying about the geometry and everything. So that should be a nice, relatively easy fix compared to everything we've done so far. For that we need to have the engine out, like I said, and then we are going to strip the interior out because we need to change all of the seat belts, we need to change the dashboard or send it to be repaired. And like I said, I would love to take you on a journey with me of rebuilding this car and seeing just how hard or easy it's going to be to put this thing back together as soon as possible, since I'm really eager to see how this thing drives. I never had a car this big before, so it's going to be a something new for me as well. And I think stripping the engine out of this vehicle may or may not cause us a lot of headaches. The idea is just to lower the engine on some sort of stands and then just roll the chassis backwards, which in itself is going to be a challenge. But we have no other option. Easy as that. So we are going to have to battle through. I'm going to free up as much space as possible. This time I would love to take really better notes of where everything goes, all of the broken pieces, broken parts that we have, so I know where everything goes when putting things back together. When I was doing that with Audi TT, it was my second one that I rebuilt, so I kind of knew where things go, and I still forgot to order plenty of parts. So being that this is everything new to me, I am going to be extra careful of noting where the parts go and what the pieces are broken, so I can order new parts. Like I said, freeing the space around the engine, then trying to detach the engine from the chassis, which is going to allow us to repair the leg that is broken. I'm going to try to show you everything that is obvious or not obvious in the engine compartment. Obviously, the bonnet is completely bent, but the most important thing, this part of the chassis over here, which is a upper leg piece which connects somehow to the chassis leg down there over here and goes straight forward and holds the lock carrier, is also bent. It has with itself bent the inverter. This is the inverter, and I just saw that it has a sticker saying danger, danger, electric. So probably not a good idea to touch it like that. Maybe I should lick my finger and touch it whilst I'm in here. And yeah, other than that, couple of plastic pieces up front, but so far I haven't seen anything engine related that is damaged. However, you know how it goes. It might be that it is actually damaged. We'll see that once we strip everything out. And now I would love to thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you are going to smash that like and subscribe button because this is just the beginning of rebuilding this car, and I hope you're interested in seeing how this piece of crashed luxury vehicle is going to become shiny, brand new looking almost vehicle in hopefully some short time. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this car. Was it a good purchase or not? How much did I pay for it? I would love you to guess, and I will list every cost like I did with the other car, and show you in the end just how much was it and was it worth repairing. See you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.